up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Kaged Review. My name is Kevin Jackwitz, and I'm going to review Deadpool 2. Holy shit, this movie was fucking amazing from beginning to end. Non-stop laughter. This is one of the best action comedies you're ever going to go see, honestly. They really emphasized the comedy in this movie. It's such a good time. Okay, so let's get into this. You know how this is going to work. I'm going to do a spoiler review later. This is going to be a very quick non-spoiler review. I'll release everything with all the details later. So for non-spoiler, the whole concept is you have Deadpool who is trying to save this kid. He's a mutant. He's got powers, and Cable is after him. We don't know why. We just know that Cable is one of the baddest fucking characters in the Marvel Universe and is finally brought to the big screen. And Deadpool has to face off with him. Makes some great moments. I'm really glad that they chose Brolin. Brolin is very good at subtle inflection. He's very good at being a very good emotional actor. And ironically, I don't know that this role has a ton of emotional range, but there is emotion that he has to convey, and he does very well. Ryan Reynolds is typical Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. It's very quick-witted, very sarcastic humor, very abrasive. And it's cool because he's such a fan of the character that he really tries to convey everything that the comics try to convey, and I really appreciate that as a fan, as you can see, and it's really cool to see on screen. So let's get into performances really quick. I already said what I think about Brolin. Ryan Reynolds is very fun in this movie. He actually hits a couple of deeper moments in this movie where it has to kind of get serious, and they do a very good job of turning comedy into these kind of heartfelt moments and vice versa. And he really sells it very well, and he is a genius comedian. Like, I rank him right up there with like Jim Carrey in the days of like Liar Liar and The Mask and Bruce Almighty. All those like super funny movies that Carrey did. And like, I haven't seen a comedian come along in a while that can really make a beginning to end very funny movie like he can. And Ryan Reynolds does it in spades. So that was very cool to see. Zazie Beetz, who plays Domino, she's got this really cool, cute charm to her. And she just comes across on the screen so well. Really does. I really like her. And Domino's character, I mean, they make her super badass in this movie. They really do. Some of the scenes they make with her, you kind of saw in the previews where they're doing this motorized conveyance thing that there's this big fight on. And she has a couple of amazing parts in that alone. So it was really cool. Very cool to see. The rest of the X-Force team, there's a couple of surprises there, and I'm not going to give that away, but there's definitely surprises there that took me off guard. Very fun. But like I said, I can't really say too much because it'll just give things away, and I don't want to do that. I'll save that for the spoiler review. The kid, I forget his name, that plays Fire Fist, he's really cool too. As an actor, he's kind of pissed off, and this kid sells it pretty well too. I'm gonna have to look up his name for the spoiler review so I can give like a full in-depth review of how I think he did and give you bits and pieces of the movie where I thought he really was a highlight. But he was very good. The only thing that I think kind of fell flat for me was Dopinder. he wasn't utilized, and he was there quite a bit. That was like probably one time that I think Dopinder actually made me like laugh out loud. And that was probably the weak link in the movie. Other than that, absolutely great beginning to end. I was a big fan of Cable. For a very long time, I've been waiting to see him on screen. I was waiting to see if they would do him justice on screen. And they really do. Like, if you're a Cable fan, or if you don't know anything about Cable and you've been like checking it out, trust me, they do a marvelous job of bringing this character to life on screen. As a fanboy, I was super excited to see them use all of his abilities. And if you don't know what his abilities are in the comics, he is able to control time. He time travels. He's got telekinetic energy. He can move things with his mind, control things with his mind. He's got this cybernetic arm that's been rebuilt onto his body. He's a tactician. He's been in the military, so he knows how to fight. He's in martial arts. He's a military tactician. So, all of these really cool elements make up this one character. So I was super excited to, like I said, see that brought to life. And they really hit a lot of key elements of the character right on the head. Absolutely great. You don't get to see a whole lot of Negasonic Teenage Warhead. She's got a few scenes where it's kind of impactful, but nothing near like the last movie with her. And Hildebrand is a great actress. I like her. But yeah, because there's so much else that you're concentrating on, you're building a relationship with Deadpool and this kid, Deadpool and Cable, Deadpool and Colossus, and so she just kind of slips through the cracks here. One thing that this movie does, though, is it really tries to incorporate different races, different sexualities, different creeds, and even different sizes. They actually make a comment about how there's not any plus-size superheroes. And not that that's really the biggest thing in my book. Like, at the end of the day, I really don't give a shit who's behind the camera as long as they're doing a good job. And they all do a very good job, but it's kind of cool that they incorporate people that you wouldn't normally see in these movies. So I did appreciate that. And one thing about Deadpool's character that a lot of people don't know is he's what's considered pansexual. If you don't know what pansexual is, he's pretty much just sexual. Guys, girls, whatever, doesn't matter. And they do a lot of quips in the movie that kind of, they bring it up without it being pointed. Like, they're trying to give respect to the character that Stan Lee wrote. And, he's this very depraved fucking, just complete degenerate. And so, in the movie, they do it funny, they make it comedic, but it's still there. And I kind of, like I said, I appreciate that they do that because they're staying true to who Deadpool is in the comics. And again, I don't really give a fuck about, pointing out somebody's sexuality in a movie or embracing, be who you are, whatever. I don't give a fuck. But staying true to who that is, I really do like. So it's just cool to see. I think they've really gone above and beyond with this one. Now, like I said, there are scenes here that are a lot more emotionally oriented than the last movie. And they try to get them big emotional payoffs. But as far as the action scenes are really, really cool to watch, man. They had one scene that I was just like, oh my god, took my breath away for a sec. Because it was something, it wasn't anything I expected. And this, again, I can't really talk about it because it'll go into spoiler talk, but there is a character that they don't have in the trailers that pops up. I'm not going to say who it is. And there was just like this really cool scene when you first see him. It's like, oh shit, this dude is serious. So that was really cool. That was very cool to see. There's actually a big fight that's been right out of the comic book pages in this movie. The only thing I really wish in retrospect that they would have done differently is Colossus. They started as a CGI character and they, clearly carried him over as a CGI character here. I really wish they would have had somebody actually playing Colossus. I think it would have given it a little bit more depth and realism. I mean, obviously you're talking X-Men and, this fantastical world, so how much realism can you get? But if you look at Infinity War and, all the movies, quite frankly, leading up to that, Marvel has done an amazing job of making the fantastical still have a huge touch of reality. So that's really my only complaint about this movie. I think that's the only thing that I would say as kind of a negative. Other than that, hugely funny throughout. Like some of the jokes in here, oh my god. And they're going to go back and reference some of Ryan Reynolds' old work. They did that in the last movie. But really funny. Really, really funny. I will say, stay through the credits. You get a couple of very meaningful and very hilarious end credit scenes that absolutely set up not only another Deadpool movie, but maybe new characters, and really closes the chapter on other things. So it's very well balanced like that. I really love this movie. Can't say enough about it. I mean, probably a 9 out of 10. It wasn't a perfect movie. It had a couple of parts that I would have, plucked out, like Dopinder, or the CGI. But other than that, I mean, really, really good. So, that's my take on it. If you've seen it, let me know what you think in the comments. Please try to keep this shit spoiler free. If I see some asshole in my comment section just throwing out spoilers, I'm going to delete your comment. I'll probably block you too, because that's just rude. Other people will put up with that on their channels. I won't. So don't be a dick. But other than that, love to hear your thoughts on it. And if you enjoyed this review, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. I'll be following up with the spoiler review probably first thing tomorrow morning. It's, nighttime here. My girlfriend is absolutely addicted to the storyline for Beyond Two Souls, so we're going to play that. And I'm going to hit the bed. And then come morning, I'll do my spoiler review, and we'll have some fun talking about it. So, ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. My name is Kevin Jackowitz. Kaged Nation out.